Hey everybody, Don here again. Well, today I'm going to try to make another crawdad jig. I'm going to do something a little different. For the body, I'm going to try using this dubbing. And I'm going to make a dubbing loop, and I'm going to try to stack a couple different colors together and see if I can make a body using something other than the chenille. First time to try it, so we'll give it a go. Like I've told you, or if I haven't told you, every jig that I make, you're seeing the first attempt. Like I said, I'm not a teaching channel, but what you're seeing is the first attempt at me making these jigs. So stick around. We'll see what we can do. So you see these rabbit zonkers I'm using. They're, the olive drab. I've ordered a couple of different colors, more of an orangish, but today we're going to try to change the color of these a little bit. I wish I had an orange Sharpie, but I don't. But I have a red magic marker. And I'm just gonna really try to turn these things red. Not really red, but more of a darker orangish, reddish color. Something other than just the olive green. And of course it's soaking them, so I'm probably gonna use a hair dryer to try to fluff these things back up, but yeah, definitely need to try to hair dry these, but it does look like they've changed colors. All right, well, they came out a little bit different color. They got a little reddish tint to them. The leather's definitely got a little reddish tint to them, so we'll make it work. Had to dry them with the hair dryer for quite a while to fluff them back up, but. So I just loaded up my bobbin with kind of a rust colored thread. That's what I'm gonna get this thing started with. All right, so as usual, I crushed down that little keeper. I'm gonna put a little Sally Hansen's on there, just a little bit. Okay, let's get this started. Get the thread around some of that Sally Hansen's. It's kind of like a glue. It's called Hard as Nails, so it's for top coating fingernails. I just want to get that kind of spread out a little bit. Get a good base of thread on here. Okay, let's cut that off. So if you recall, the first crawdad I made for the antennae, I used these silicone legs. Problem with that is when you pick it up, they just flop down. And so if the claw, if the claw is up in the air like that, well, the antennae would be up in the air like that too. So these things just flop down. They look good when it's sitting on a table, but I'm gonna try something a little different. So what I have here, these are 2 pieces of peacock herl. They're just pieces of the feather of a peacock, but they're a little more rigid. Got a little orange tip on them. So I'm going to tie these on for the antennae and see what it looks like. Like I said, everything I'm doing is a first. Put on these 2 antennae. Just wrap that around a few times. I don't know how durable these things will be because they're feather, but I think they'll look better. Whoops. Don't go around that point. Okay. See how they look a little more rigid. They're not just hanging down. And I'm going to put a little bit of chenille on here, but not a lot, because I just want to put a ball of it at the head. To separate those claws a little bit. Oh, I keep going around that point of that hook. I'm going to have to pull that up and get that wrapped in. There we go. Okay. Now, like that over here. I'm just going to wrap this around 5 or 6 times. I didn't cut off a very big piece, about 3 inches. But I want to use this to separate those legs a little bit. I really want it all up here. Let's wrap that off. We'll get the legs on, and I hope you'll see what I'm trying to do. Oops. All right. My antennae are still intact. That's good. All right. So now I'm going to tie on the far side claw. I trimmed it up just a little bit. And I want to get that pretty tightly wrapped. And see how this is going to keep that separated. I will come a little tighter. And now we'll tie on this one. Make a bunch of wraps down here, and then we'll work our way up to that ball of chenille and try to get it pretty tight. Yeah, that's going to work out good. Go a little bit farther up. And you can see they're separated a little bit. Now you can't really see it from there. But if I rotate this thing, you see how those claws are separated because I've got that big ball of chenille there. So this is the dubbing that I'm going to be using. It's for crawfish pattern. So I've got an olive, a kind of a rust, and kind of an orange. I'm going to combine these and try to make a dubbing loop and then a dubbing brush hang out. So here's some dubbing. You see what it is. It's just fibers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to combine a bunch of these different fibers. And you stick them in that loop. I've got some of that. We'll go with this darker rust color. And I'm going to stack them. I don't know if I'll be able to show you how I stack them. Whoa! Oh, I didn't want that much. I just want like that much. And I'll make a loop and I'll show you what I'm doing. So what I mean by stacking them is I'm just kind of stacking them like this. Alright, so they're kind of all intermingled. And then I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to pull out a bit of string, put my finger under it, and then tie it off up here. So now I have, let me give one more wrap, a loop here in my finger. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack this stuff inside the string, the loop, and I'm going to try to twist it. Now I don't have a dubbing spinner, but I looked at a couple different videos, and I think this little O-ring hook will do the trick. So now I've kind of captured that stuff, and I'm going to start spinning it. And eventually, it should capture that. It's not capturing it. Maybe I'm going the wrong way. It's supposed to capture all these threads, and I don't think I had enough of them captured in there. Oh, there we go. No, I guess you just got to really spin it tight. And I'm hoping that they're captured inside that thread enough that now when I start to tie it, it's going to make a big fluffy body. And I don't think I did capture it enough. But let's have a look. This is, like I said, this is a first for me. All right. So you can see, let me raise it up. I've got quite a fluffy body. I'm going to try to consolidate that a little bit by wrapping it. It's not quite what I was thinking, but I can trim it. Alright, so let's finish it off. Put a whip finish on it. Alright. Let's take a look. Well, the body didn't come out exactly like I wanted, but I did achieve the spreading of the claws, and I like these little peacock, what are they called? Peacock hurls. Peacock hurls for the antennae because they're a little more rigid. They don't drop down. But the dubbing loop, it'll take some practice. I'm going to throw this in with the other two that I'm sending Fitzy and see what he can do with it. I almost feel bad because I really don't like the way this one came out. But hey, I'm going to have lots of time to practice over the winter. Thanks for coming along today. See you next time. Peace.